All right, let's talk about something we all kind of take for granted, our vision. Now, when we think about serious eye protection, most of us picture our grandparents, right? But what if the biggest threats to your eyesight today have way less to do with age and everything to do with our modern world? Let's get into it.
I mean, really think about it. If I say the word cataracts, whose face pops in your head? For almost everyone, it's an older person. It's this deep-seated idea we all have. But today, we're going to challenge that. Because here's the reality check. The real drivers behind a lot of these common eye issues aren't just birthdays. The true culprits are things like chronic inflammation and the constant wear and tear from our environment. And you know what? That can hit any of us, no matter how old we are. So let's meet the main offenders. I like to think of them as the eye vaders. We're going to break down the 3 most common conditions that are quietly trying to mess with our vision. Okay, first up, the one everyone's heard of, cataracts. The easiest way to picture this is to imagine the lens in your eye, which is supposed to be totally clear, slowly getting fogged up. It happens when proteins get damaged and start clumping together, thanks to a triple threat of UV light, high blood sugar, and not having enough protective antioxidants. Next, we have something called pterygium. But its nickname, surfer's eye, tells you pretty much everything you need to know. This is a fleshy bit of tissue that literally grows onto the white part of your eye. It's your eye's way of screaming, "I'm irritated," from constant exposure to sun, wind, and dust. It's a classic sign of inflammation. Now, those first 2 are definitely not great, but there's one eye vader that's earned a much scarier reputation. It's known as the silent thief, because you almost never see it coming until the damage is already done. And that thief is glaucoma. Here's what happens. The pressure inside your eye builds up, and up, and up, and it starts to crush the delicate optic nerve that connects your eye to your brain. And the scariest part? No symptoms, no pain, nothing in the early stages. The damage just quietly happens, and if you don't catch it, it is permanent. So, we know who the bad guys are. Now, let's zoom all the way in and investigate the cellular crime scene. What is actually going wrong on a microscopic level that causes all this trouble? So the first problem is what scientists call oxidative stress. Just think of it this way. When things like UV light and blue light from our screens hit the eye, they create these tiny, unstable molecules called free radicals. These little guys are like pinballs bouncing around inside your cells, causing damage to everything they touch. The result is what you could call cellular rust. And over time, that rust builds up and makes the lens of your eye cloudy. But light isn't working alone here. There's an accomplice that a lot of us have in our diets every single day, and it is pouring gasoline on this inflammatory fire. Yeah, let's talk about sugar. There's a process called glycation, and basically when there's too much sugar in your blood, the sugar molecules literally start to stick to proteins, including the delicate proteins in your eyes. This makes them stiff, sticky, and useless. The best analogy? It's like caramelizing those fine-tuned structures. They become brittle, hard, and they just can't do their job anymore. Okay, I know that all sounds pretty grim, but here's the good news. This is not a losing battle, not even close. So now let's flip the script and open up our eye protection toolkit and look at the simple things you can do every single day to fight back. First things first, your first line of defense. These are the basics, the non-negotiables. Get a real pair of UV 400 sunglasses. I'm not talking about fashion glasses. I mean ones that block 100% of UVA and UVB rays. Put blue light filters on your phone and computer. Try to stay away from irritants like smoke and dust. And this one is huge. If you have something like diabetes, getting it under control is one of the best things you can do for your vision. And I really want you to let this one sink in for a second, because it's wild when you think about it. For many of us today, we get more exposure to blue light from our screens than we do to actual sunlight. We've created this totally new kind of stress for our eyes, which means we have to be way more proactive than our grandparents ever had to be. All right, the next tool in our kit is what you eat. You can literally build an internal defense shield. Your eyes are hungry for antioxidants to fight off that cellular rust. So load up. Think dark leafy greens for amazing nutrients like lutein and zeaxanthin. Think bright orange and yellow veggies like pumpkin and papaya for vitamin C. And get those healthy fats from nuts and seeds for vitamin E. So, we've covered the basics, but now for the part I'm really excited about. What if I told you that 2 of the most powerful healing strategies for your eyes are provided by nature and they are 100% free? These are superpowers you literally already have access to. So first, we have to totally rethink our relationship with the sun. We've been taught to be scared of sunlight, and for good reason. But we've forgotten a critical piece of the puzzle. Not all sunlight is bad. In fact, some kinds of light are incredibly healing.
Think of sunlight as having two different personalities. You've got the harsh, midday UV and blue light. That's the stuff that causes cellular rust and damage. But then, you have the gentle, healing red and near-infrared light you find in the early morning and late evening. That light actually helps your cells. It stimulates the tiny power plants in your cells, the mitochondria, to make more energy, which they then use to repair damage and reduce inflammation.
And using it couldn't be simpler. Just find that soft sign in the morning or evening. You don't look at it directly. Just close your eyes and face the light. Let that gentle warmth soak in for just 3 to 5 minutes. Your closed eyelids act as the perfect filter. That's it. That's the whole practice.
Pretty cool, huh? A free healing tool delivered twice a day. Well, the second superpower is just as easy, and it is literally right beneath your feet wherever you are.
It's called grounding or earthing. Here's the deal. The surface of the Earth has a natural negative electrical charge. When you make direct skin contact with it, your body absorbs these free electrons. And guess what these electrons are? They're the most powerful antioxidants on the planet. They go in and immediately neutralize those destructive free radicals, stopping that chain reaction of cellular rust dead in its tracks.
And how do you do it? You guessed it, it's super simple. Find some grass, some dirt, some sand at the beach. Take off your shoes and socks, and just stand there, walk around for about 20 or 30 minutes. This simple act has been shown to lower inflammation, improve blood flow, and it may even help reduce that dangerous internal eye pressure linked to glaucoma.
So let's wrap it all up. Here's your 4-step natural vision formula. Number 1, play defense by blocking the bad light. Number 2, build your internal shield with antioxidant-rich foods. And numbers 3 and 4, use nature's free medicine. Absorb that healing morning and evening light and connect your bare feet to the earth every single day. When you boil it all down, it comes back to one incredibly empowering idea. Your body, working with the natural world around it, comes with its own amazing built-in repair kit. The tools are there, they're powerful, they're free. So the only real question left is, are you using them?